What is going on, everybody? Welcome to What the Wrestling. On this episode, we got AEW Rampage, we got WWE SmackDown, 2 reviews, and what in the blue hell is going on backstage at AEW? We'll find out right here on What the Wrestling. Stay tuned.
You're listening to the What the Wrestling podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Oh, you already know what time it is. Y'all already know because I just told y'all, welcome. All right, let's not waste any more time. Check out my socials. As always, follow me. RJD underscore 199 on Instagram, RJ699 on Twitter, RJD 199 on Snapchat, and most importantly, follow What the Wrestling on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. Also follow What the Wrestling on Spotify and Anchor. Y'all already know what time it is. 1 second, we about to get this party started right now. One second. We about to get this rolling in a couple of minutes. All right, so I don't know what the hell is going on with my sound, but it don't matter. Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. Tis I, RJD. Welcome everybody to What the Wrestling. Doesn't look like we're gonna have any sound bites today because they're acting crazy. So if we don't have any sound bites, so be it. There won't be any sound bites today. Shit happens. But we don't need sound bites because we got me, baby. RJD is here. Welcome. This is your What the Wrestling review for SmackDown, Rampage, and we're going to talk about backstage at AEW. I don't know what the hell's going on with AEW right now, but man, they got a lot of problems. They got a lot of problems backstage. And even if, let me turn this down a little bit. There we go. And even if the problems are overblown, which I do think. I do think the problems are overblown. But even if the problems are overblown, there's still way too much going on. Let me get my phone out the frame. There's still way too much going on backstage. So let's talk about this talent meeting that they had. So they had themselves a good old-fashioned talent meeting, and like I said, I know you guys love the sound bites, but I don't know what is going on. Excuse me, I don't know what is going on with this thing. It is tweaking. So if I can fix it really quick during the stream, I will. If I can't and it refuses to work, then so be it. We will roll through without the sound bites. But they had themselves a good old-fashioned backstage conversation. They want to rally the troops, things like that. And unfortunately, so we had the EVP spoke, Kenny Omega spoke, Nick Jackson, Tony Khan spoke, Jericho spoke, and Kenny Omega was reportedly harder on the talent, coming across a bit frustrated about how certain events have developed. The AEW roster is said to be split on their reception to Omega's stance, with half believing he was merely passionate and impassioned, while the other half believe it was tough love, as PW Insider Mike Johnson put it. Now, what I will say is this: in lieu of all the stuff that's happening with AEW, with Thunder Rosa and Bray Baker, and I'm going to talk about that with Eddie Kingston pie facing and getting suspended, Sammy Guevara, with the recent news, and then we had recent news that a lot of people can't get in touch with Tony Khan. He addressed that in the meeting also, saying that, listen, I know you guys haven't been able to get in touch with me. I'm going to make myself more accessible, blah, say, blah. With all of that stuff going on, TK needs to get a handle on this locker room, because there's a lot going on right now. AEW was the place that everybody loved just a year ago, just 6 months ago. The perception on AEW was that everybody loved them. Everybody wanted to be there. The locker room was, everybody was happy-go-lucky. Everybody rocked with each other. Everybody was cool with each other. But now, it seems like that has changed. You see, when you have, keep hitting this thing. One of the biggest problems is they have too much damn talent that they ain't using. The Brian Cages of the world, the women's division, we're going to get into that in a minute. Like, there's no reason why you have all of this talent and not everybody gets to get on TV. So you got people sitting there. He's got Ring of Honor, but he's putting Ring of Honor stuff. He's putting Ring of Honor stuff on Dynamite and on Rampage, which is fine. I understand you're trying to get it over, trying to get a TV deal, but you had those disgruntled employees over there, a la Jonathan Gresham and some other cats. Brian Cage, they had a faction going on there, but Tully Blanchard left, and now what the hell's going on with that faction? if you're gonna wait for Ring of Honor to have a deal, a TV deal, and then put all of those guys on Ring of Honor on TV, I can see that. I understand that. Makes sense. But one of the problems is he got all of this damn talent. And listen, you're going to have some unhappy people when they're not being used. I mean, it is what it is. If you got people sitting there and they're not being used, they're going to be unhappy. I mean, duh. A second problem is this women's division. It sucks. But don't misunderstand me. I don't mean the women's division sucks as in the women suck. Oh, no. They got some fantastic ladies in that division. What sucks is that they don't got enough time. There's no TV time for these ladies. If you were to tell me 6 to 8 months ago, hey, so I have a young lady here. Which company should she go to? I would tell her, run to WWE. Run to WWE, run to NXT, run to Raw or SmackDown, run over there. Don't come to AEW. Listen, I know Britt Baker, and we're going to talk about her in a little while. I know Britt Baker is, probably Tony Khan's favorite. She's good on the mic. She's gotten way better in the ring. Britt Baker has gotten better in the ring, and I wish I had my sound bites working. But if you think Britt Baker has gotten better in the ring, you stupid. Stupid. Yeah, that's you. She's gotten better, and she's put on some great matches. Way better. Go watch All In a couple years ago. Watch her in that, and then go watch her now. She's gotten a hell of a lot better. But the next thing. These back alley squabbles. So the women's division's a problem, and then they got all this talent. That's a problem. You're going to have people disgruntled. And then these back alley issues in the back. I mean, a lot of it, like I said in my last stream, people went to AEW because people weren't talking. Stuff that was happening in AEW in the locker room was staying in the locker room. It wasn't getting out. Now, stuff is getting out every goddamn day about what's going on with Punk and Hangman, what's going on with this person doesn't like this person, and this person doesn't like that person, and that person doesn't like that person. You didn't hear about none of this nonsense. Hardly any of this the first couple of years of existence. But this is a trial and tribulation. This is a growing pain for the company. All companies go through this. No company is perfect. And I think besides things getting out, they need to figure out how to get a handle on these backstage squabbles with people not liking each other and people mad and they can't find TK and this one don't like this one and this one's pie facing this one. And I mean, come on, it's ridiculous. So stuff used to be tight knit, closed off. Now it's not as tight knit, closed off as it used to be, because now a lot of stuff is getting out that honestly wasn't really getting out before. And that's going to become a big deal, and that's going to become a problem, especially moving forward, because when you have, like, just the perception of AEW right now is, the perception is in the locker room is in shambles. And Punk and Bryan joined, especially Punk, because he was talking to Tony Khan for a while, like a good year. And the perception of AEW is what got AEW over in his eyes. And Danielson too. Bryan Danielson, same thing. They loved the fact that things were tight, closed. Ruby Soho, when she first got there, she was like, I love it here. Like, a lot of that backstage bullshit that was in WWE, you didn't get that over in AEW. And now you are. So that's a big problem. It's a big problem. So, another thing. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's talk about this. Eddie Kingston, as my buttons still don't work, but it's okay. Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara got into a scuffle. The details of that scuffle have now been out. So apparently, Eddie Kingston was mad because Sammy Guevara hadn't spoken to Eddie or cleared the content of a promo that was being edited after a Rampage, I believe. The two had a conversation. The two had not had a conversation since Blood and Guts to talk about where the promo was going to go after he threw Sammy off the cage. So what Kingston was mad at is that Sammy called him a fat piece of shit. And the problem he had with that is that if I'm going to go over in this match and I'm going to beat you and you calling me a fat piece of shit, now you look bad because a fat piece of shit shouldn't be beating you. So he was like, you got to be careful with your language. But he was also irritated because when he got backstage, he said there was reports that Sammy Guevara, like he's yelling and Sammy Guevara just laughed at him like, like, what? Okay. So, and Sammy Guevara has a real punchable face. Like, he has just one of those faces that if he was being a dick to you, you would be like, man, I want to hit this guy. He's got one of those faces. So, that was the problem. And I guess he got mad and tried to get over here. You know, he tried to get him. Then he just, you know, boop, kind of booped him on the nose or whatever. And it was broken up. And Tony Khan suspended him. And you know what? Good. He should have suspended him because he was wrong for that. You don't go attacking your coworker at the workplace. There's plenty of times, I'm sure all of us have been there, where we want to knock a boss out, or we want to show you get, you know, we want to hit somebody with the hammer like DDT, but we can't do it. We're in a place of business, it's professional. We're gonna do what we gotta do our job, and keep it pushing. And unfortunately, for Kingston, he went a little bit, you know, too far. And that's a problem. Can't go attacking your coworkers. So this seems to be water under the bridge now, which is fine. I'm glad they worked it out. Eddie Kingston, he put out something saying, listen, I was wrong. I'm paraphrasing about what he said, but he said, listen, I was wrong. I was unprofessional. He did what he did, but at the end of the day, I was wrong. Shout out to Eddie. Eddie's a real G. He's a real man about his, and that's why we love Eddie Kingston so much. Sammy Guevara also put out a statement, a very long-winded statement, talking about what happened and what wasn't cleared with who and how they were supposed to go, and we didn't talk about it. I told him what I didn't want him to say, but he didn't tell me what he didn't want me to say. And as a heel, I was basically joking on him as a heel character, which is not wrong. I mean, that's what you should do. He's a bad guy. People hate him right now, so he's a bad guy, which is fine. But at the end of the day, this coming from me now, 85% of the problems in the world could be solved by communication. And he said this is a miscommunication. And he also said the people that fat shame Eddie are the same people that get on him and that say he's too small, and he said they could go kiss his ass. He didn't say kiss his ass, but the gist of it was like those people could kiss my ass. So shout out to him. He detailed it. He had Eddie's back, but then he also said, Eddie, you gotta take responsibility, bro. You didn't tell me I couldn't say that. So you shouldn't even be getting mad at me. And the way he detailed it was he's walking backstage, he's trying to walk down the steps, and Eddie Kingston's screaming at him, and he's just looking at him like, what, man? And Eddie's trying to get over here, you know? You know what I'm saying? And I could just see the steam. I could see Eddie going Super Saiyan. I can see it. I can see Eddie Kingston going Super Saiyan trying to get at this guy, man. Oh, man. It's like a funny visual in the back of my head. It's awesome. So that seems to be water under the bridge. He got his suspension. I think this all-out match is now off. Fine, it happens. Hopefully they go their separate ways. I think everything will be fine with them. They seem to have moved past it. But who hasn't moved past it is Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. Thunder Rosa. So, a lot of things happened on Dynamite. And one thing was Thunder Rosa relinquished the AEW Women's Championship during the backstage segment with Tony Schiavone. She was damn near in tears. And they had a fatal four-way. Now there will be a fatal four-way to determine the new women's champion for AEW. Great. So there were rumors going out there that Thunder Rosa wasn't hurt, that she was suspended. There were rumors going out there that her injury wasn't legitimate. All of that is cap. Stop the cap. Yes. Thunder Rosa is legit hurt. She was on Busted Open Radio talking about how she couldn't freaking walk because she's got a disc problem and she doesn't want surgery. So she's trying to actually deal with it without surgery and taking time off. And Thunder Rosa's probably been hurt for a while. Like, I think Thunder Rosa's probably been hurt for a good long while. So this time off for her is probably much, much needed. So shout out to her for getting her time off. Good for her. Take the time, come back right, get 100%, and then come back with a vengeance. I think that's great for Thunder Rosa, and I'm glad that she's taking time off. There's also an issue where people are perceiving Thunder Rosa as being difficult to work with. Now, here's my take on that. Here's what I think. I think Thunder Rosa is the AEW Women's Champion. I think Thunder Rosa, she has a chip on her shoulder. She's spicy. You know, she's spicy. She's feisty. And she's going to scratch and claw and fight for what she believes in. And because it comes off in her personality. It comes off in her promos. She's a Latin woman. Shout out to Isaac. You know, Isaac loves his Latin women. And she's going to fight for what she wants. And she's very outspoken, and she's going to voice her opinions, which is awesome. I think Thunder Rosa should do that. I think if you feel that passionately about your job, about what you're doing, about your creative, about where you want to go, I think you should absolutely speak up. Man, woman, doesn't matter. She reminds me a lot of Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks sees things like, she's another one who's like, I know I'm good. Why is it start and stop? I know I can do this. Why are you not allowing me to do this? I know I deserve more time. I've shown you I've deserved more time. I'm the best women's wrestler on this roster. Sasha Banks be talking her shit. And Thunder Rosa reminds me, I would love to see those two in a match. Thunder Rosa and Sasha Banks. I think it would be incredible, to be honest. But I don't think she's difficult to work with. I think she's very opinionated. And just because someone is opinionated doesn't mean they're difficult to work with. I think that, on top of the fact that she's been hurt, on top of the fact that they told this great story with her and Britt Baker for her to get the title. She tried, she lost. She tried, she lost. She tried, she lost. She worked around all the way back to Britt. She got the title, and she's not on TV. What sense does that make? The damn woman is the AEW Women's Champion, and we rarely see her on TV. Even Jade. Jade does a lot of the little promos. I'm that bitch, da-da-da-da. Fine. But we don't see Jade wrestling on Dynamite a whole lot. We know she's new at this, and she's not going to have a 5-star classic, but we can still give her more TV time. The women don't get no goddamn TV time. But they got TV time when Britt Baker was on TV, though. They got TV time when Britt Baker was out there. She got TV time. And this is the problem. I believe Thunder Rosa has a legitimate claim, and anyone has a legitimate claim that women's division is not where it should be. And I don't think it's all Thunder Rosa's fault. You don't give these ladies no stories. You just go out there and put them in a shitty spot on Dynamite. You put them on Dark. You put them on Elevation. You put them on Rampage. And then when they're on Dynamite, they get shitty spots or they get a 2-minute segment. So it's proven right now that you're not behind the women, Tony Khan. You're not. I mean, when I look at SmackDown and Raw, and we've only had 4 weeks of Triple H, but we know he cares about the women's division. He'll start off with them. He gives them time in the ring. He's telling a story right now with Bayley and her faction Control, and and the tag team division. We're probably gonna get Naomi and Sasha Banks back. He's telling stories with these women. Whether the matches are good, great, or not that good, it doesn't matter. He's telling stories. And Tony Khan might have one good story. We know they had something set up for Statlander, but she got hit with the injury bug again, and that freaking sucks. Feel sorry for Stat, because Stat it's like when she got hurt the first time, I think it was the shoulder, she was ready. They was like, we was just about ready to give her that let's go Stat push. And then this time we were right there again, and she got hurt again. It's like, God damn it. But what I would say is Tony Khan needs to find a way to incorporate the women better and get these ladies on TV, get them telling stories. Don't just put them in shitty positions. I know you got a lot of guys you got to give TV time to, and I know, some people got to wait their turn. It is what it is. I get that. But come on, we got to do better, man. We got to do better. And if Britt Baker gets this title, well, let's talk about this first. So Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa don't like each other. And Thunder Rosa broke Jamie Hayter's nose by accident. So I don't know. There have been reports that it's 50-50 on Thunder Rosa. Some people say she worked too stiff. Some people say, man, she's stiff, but I ain't got a problem with her. Like, Jamie Hayter complaining about Thunder Rosa being stiff is like a fucking oxymoron. It makes no sense. Because Jamie Hayter's stiff as hell in there. And I love to see the physicality on these ladies. These ladies go balls to the wall. They go hard. But, come on, son. Like, you mad stiff yourself, yo. As Steve Austin would put it, got to get your shit in. Jamie Hayter gets his shit in. And so does Thunder Rosa. But I think, the locker room, they say it's 50-50 on her, and that's fine. Not everybody's going to like you. But if that title goes back onto Britt Baker, and even though these ladies are professional, and they're working with each other, even though they hate each other, or don't like each other, and that's fine. You ain't got to like everybody you work with, and they're professional. Even so, that should be, the title shouldn't go on Britt Baker. You want to tell a good story, put that title on Jamie Hayter and have Jamie Hayter shit on Britt Baker to get it. Now we've got a story cooking. Or you can have Toni Storm defeat the odds, and Toni Storm is the champ. It'll probably go to Toni Storm because you could tell a better story with when Thunder Rosa comes back. But, I mean, you can't get mad that somebody cares about their job, that they're passionate about what they believe in. It can't always be about them. That's very true. But at the end of the day, when you've got Thunder Rosa fighting for what she believes in, as long as she's not disrespectful, I'm all for it. Go fight for what you want. Go fight for what you want. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you. You gotta go take it. So go get that. Go fight. So this is what's going on right now. With the sandbagging of Marina Shafir, with the issues with Britt Baker, she's working too stiff, she's difficult to work with. It's like whenever you speak up on something, they call you difficult to work with. And I think that's bull crap. That's bull jive, as Uncle Sharp would say. Get out of here with that bull jive, man. That is cap, man. Where's my button? Stop the cap. Come on. Just because you speak up, that does not mean you're difficult to work with. It just means that you speak up as you should. So let's stop the nonsense. Let's get right. Let's get right, everybody. Let's do what we got to do, and let's call it a day. This ran a little long, so I'm gonna put, and I have to prepare for my next show. Damn. So I'll do SmackDown. You know what? Yeah, I gotta prepare for my next show. Great visual of Roman Reigns too on SmackDown. So I'm going to record my next show tomorrow, and I'll put it up tomorrow. This one's going up right now because I didn't realize I ran out of time. Jesus Christ. So that's what's going on right now in AEW. What the hell's going on backstage? I hope they figure this ish out because these ladies and gentlemen are too goddamn talented for the bull jive. Let's get it together. I'm going to fix my technical difficulties. As always, as Brenda would say, we come to watch your technical difficulties. Make a whole YouTube channel on how things just be effed up. Shout out to Brenda. But that's all I got. AEW All Out next week. I'm looking forward. I think it's next week. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on. It's a beautiful thing. Everything is everything. Everybody's showing love. Thank y'all all. We got the new setup. I will be changing the music soon because, I got this thunderstorm in the back with clouds, and we got my boy Sasson de Goya grooving. So I will be changing the music soon. Don't worry about that. But to everybody rocking with me, thank you very much. Don't forget to read the bottom, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, What the Wrestling, you already know. RJD here. I am out. Peace.